Alright, we're going to make some of the new, I call them Mark IVs, but they're going to be the only curly buzz frog available for sale. That's about 4 inches, just a hair over as it comes out of the mold. It fishes like a 5-inch bait when the legs straighten back and curl out, and it kicks really well. Well, we hope it kicks really well. And this is the miniature version of it. So let's hold up one of each. If that doesn't come out good on camera, I'll snap a picture and insert it at some point here. Alright, let me show you this isn't actually the original curly buzz frog. This is the version 2 of the curly buzz frog here. Let me see if I got one in a different color that's easier to see. Yeah, this is the version 2 curly buzz frog. As you can see, it's very similar, but there are some differences. Oh, boy, am I clumsy. It's just a hair shorter than the new one. The legs start a little further out and they set a little bit further out, and the reason for that is every once in a while these legs would get tangled up on the retrieve, and if you didn't notice it, it just dragged through the water. Not very often, because I've been fishing this for about 7 or 8 years and I've been whacking fish on it. But I made a few things to improve it a little bit. You won't be able to see it here, but the belly's a little deeper, hoping to give it a little more tendency to upright itself. Instead of ridges on the top, it's got a slight hook slot on the top, and then of course it's got a good hook slot on the bottom. And then it's a little bit more boat-shaped in the nose, so hopefully it won't push up as much of a ball of water, and hopefully it'll be more aerodynamic casting through the air. But again, there's not really anything wrong with this one. I've been whacking fish with this for years. I'm just thinking this one's going to be better. Alright, the plastic should be about ready to start adding some colorants to it. Uh-oh, I might have overcooked it a little bit. It's a little yellow. That's not good. Actually, it's really yellow. I'm going to use it anyway because it's cooked up. And just see how it comes out. I'm just going to mix up one of my favorite colors. That's about 3½ cups of plastic, so a little over 1/8 of a teaspoon of white pearl powder. That's the old Bear's Baits pearl powder, but I believe Jeff over at MF also sells the stuff. And then a whole bunch of shad colored glitter. Given how yellow that is, it's going to probably need at least a teaspoon, maybe more, to try and overcome that. Not a good way to show you how to make baits, huh guys? That's 1.5 teaspoons. Let's see what it looks like. Well, the pearl comes out a nice yellow pearl. Now you have to know how to make brown. You just burn your plastic. Yeah, I'm going to put a bunch of more white pearl flake in there. I'd put more white pearl powder, but the problem with most of the powder colorants is that they will stiffen up the plastic a little bit, and on a bait that you're wanting to kick on an active retrieve, stiffening up the bait probably isn't a good idea. You know, if it was something like a beaver tail, you know, where it's basically just a static bait, you know, sitting on with a Texas rig on the end, you know, it's probably not going to matter. Oh, that's such an ugly color. I hate it. I think that was the last of my regular plastic too. Anyway, now I would recommend that you use all the clamping screws that these molds are designed to run with. Let's see, 3, 4, 5. I'm missing a mold. Well, 5, 6. No, that's right. That you use all of the clamping screws that these molds were designed to be used, but I tend to use clamps. Now remember, when you're clamping multiple molds together, you got to clamp it down harder than if you're just clamping one mold closed, because all that force is spread out over all of them. And then let's get the little minis and give those a shot. Man, I hate that color. As much as I don't like to do it, I'm going to see if I can add a little more pearl powder to whiten it up some more. And I don't think any more shad flake is going to help, but I'm going to add it anyway. That's what I get for doing too many things at once. It still looks yellow. As long as it's been sitting out, this is still syrupy thickness, so you know I had it overheated. Alright, let's grab an injector and shoot some of these. One. Oh, that one flashed. And then I need to top these all off before they start drawing air in. Alright, and we just leave them there to cool off, and then we demold. Alright, we're back. It was only a few minutes. The first shot in a mold when it's cold doesn't take long to cool. Ooh, I like the look of that mini, and it does feel a little flashing on that one. I like the look of that though. I don't think that's going to be too stiff either, even though I added all that extra powder. And in spite of the fact that that color looked horrible in the cup, it doesn't look too bad in hand. I think I'm going to take those out and fish them. I'm certainly going to do a pool test on them here in a few minutes, as soon as I figure out what rig I want to throw them at. Alright. Oh, that feels good. It's got a hollow in it though. I didn't get that one filled well. That one feels good. Legs move good. I use my thumbnail to cut these off, but I know a lot of guys don't have a thumbnail. Another thing that's real handy for separating baits from sprues is a little razor scraper. I think I showed using one in one of my videos on the Wacky Winger. That one came out nice. Alright. Let's set those aside. I got 4 more of them to check out. Oh, that looks good. Looks like I had some... Forgot to dry them off after I washed them. Had some water in there. That's a bad thing. That one feels good. Well, I don't know which one I thought flashed, but these all came out good, except for that one that had a trapped air pocket in it. That probably was in a hurry there. When I make baits, one of the things I like to do is get a tray of some kind and lay them out so that they'll settle the way I want them to. On these curly buzz frogs, I think back because the belly has got a pretty good curve to it. I think laying them on their back will have them cool and take their full set, ideally. I know that not all baits, and probably not even these, do you have to be that careful with, but the baits that I make are for me to go fish with. You know, I don't sell baits, so I take a little extra care when I lay them out and let them cool, so that when I fish with them, I'm messing with the fish and not with my baits. Anyway, we'll set that tray aside. Like I said, you don't have to do that. That's just something I do to tighten that a little tighter. This should be good. Okay, and then the mini. I'm really curious how the mini's going to do. I had 3 clamps here a minute ago. There it is. Clang, bang, rattle. When you're doing something like this where the weight of the clamp is more than the mold, well, like I said, you should be using the clamping screws. But if you are going to use a clamp, try and position it so that the clamp doesn't make them fall over. So instead it helps hold them steady. And we'll just nuke us up some more plastic. And I'll be back in a little bit. Alright, we've got the new Curly Buzz Frog rigged up on a rod and the Curly Buzz Frog Mini there next to it. The one on the right is that 30-degree extra wide gap mustad hook with the copper keeper. The one on the left is a 3/0 owner rigging hook. And it's still just a tiny bit big maybe, but we're going to try it. I've got the Mini on 20-pound braid, and I've had good luck casting baits at around 1/4 ounce on this rig. The rod is a 7-foot medium light extra fast spinning rod that is completely full, so that should optimize our castability. And then the rod for the regular Curly Buzz Frog is a 7-foot medium heavy fast action bait caster with 30-pound test. And to be honest, I've thrown those Curly Buzz Frogs on up to 50-pound test okay, but when I'm trying to cover water, the 30-pound test gives me just a little bit longer casting distance. Alright, here we are back at the pool. Looks like I lost the footage I shot a little while ago on the regular Curly Buzz Frog, so we're going to shoot it again. Alright, here we go. There was some breeze and some ripple earlier, but it smoothed down a little bit, so as you can see, the bait skips like dynamite and kicks really nice, even at fairly slow speed. it does everything the other one did, only better. It was definitely worth the upgrades. All right, let's give the Curly Buzzfrog Mini a try. See, the ripple has settled down a little bit. That should help some. I may actually want to fish this one on a weighted hook, although it skips nice and casts pretty good, even though it's a little lighter than other baits I use on this rod. Swims really nice. I think we need to go out and fish with it now.